Good morning and welcome to today's webinar by Bluestonex. Please note all attendees will be muted throughout the webinar. To ask questions, please use the Q&A facility. This webinar will be recorded. If you have dialed in as a guest today, you can view more information about our membership on the link on the screen. When the webinar ends, you'll be directed to complete a very short survey for us. Your feedback is very important and it shouldn't take longer than 30 seconds to complete. We are pleased to announce that UK ISO Connect is back for 2021, taking place the 28th to the 30th of November at the ICC Birmingham. For more information, contact any member of our team. I'm now going to hand you over to Dan Barton from Bluestonex to kick things off. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sarah. Hopefully you hear me. I'm going to attempt to share my screen if that is okay. Let's do the desktop. Okay, can I just confirm that you're seeing my screen, Sarah?
Yep, can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Vic. Yeah, good morning, everybody. So got some quite nice stuff to show you today. In terms of the agenda, it's very much a kind of, we want to break down some of the jargon and the kind of myths associated with SAP Business Technology Platform. So we're going to touch just on the aspect of design thinking and what the SAP App House Network is. And then we're going to dive into something which probably is why a lot of you people are on the call today, which is around user experience. So again, we're going to break down some myth busters, talk about Fiori, talk about the history of user experience, but more importantly, start touching on some of the new digital experiences out there. And then we're going to dive into some cloud basics and show you a couple of things which we don't think is publicized as well as they should be. So HANA Cloud being one, and then we'll dip into other aspects like machine learning, chatbots, and IRPA. So it's intended to give you a nice overview, but we'll probably go a little bit deeper into the user experience section. And hopefully get you guys thinking about some great use cases where you can adopt some of the technology. So just on the call today, for the people that are watching and listening in. So I'm Dan Barton, co-founder at Bluestonex, and I've got a few of the design team. So I've got Kyle, I've got Vikash, I've got Sab, and I think I've got Sam on as well. So just very quickly about us, people who know us will be familiar with this, but the X in Bluestonex is innovation and user experience. The X really, how we kind of position it is the X on the treasure map. What we're trying to do is help customers uncover that value. So we are a part of the App House Network, which is a customer-facing innovation network with a small, discrete band of other partners out there. Yeah, and probably I say it time and time again, what's a little bit different about us is we recognize design and we recruit design skill within the organization. In terms of services, yeah, as you'd expect, user experience from strategy, problem solving, design thinking, and actually we do a lot of work with master data. Funny enough, it probably sounds very conflicting, but we have a master data practice in there coupled to help customers with user experience. And of course, we've got a bunch of products. So from our own Fiori, custom Fiori applications through to cloud applications that live in SAP Business Technology Platform. They'll integrate to your SAP systems or non-SAP systems, or they can stand alone. So it's very much catch-all. And we've got a couple of products around data. So one is almost like an MDG product, and the other is a business partner portal product, which is quite interesting. We'll show you some of the capability in here because it touches a lot of what we're showing you today. And we're based in the West Midlands for those that don't know, so kind of in Shropshire, yeah, just on the Welsh border. I won't go through any more of that. Okay, so as I said, we're gonna start off with a little bit around design thinking and the App House Network. and then we'll get into the demo. So Vikash is going to take us through a nice little demo that we've got planned today. Okay, so the subject of why design thinking. So all this stuff is quite relevant when we talk about design thinking, and hopefully people are familiar with the process, which should look a little bit like this. We think it's vitally important, especially with SAP Business Technology Platform now, because there's a lot of capability. There are tons of lovely little microservices that you can use, but it's kind of knowing when to use them, which is why we think this part gets missed often as not. So design thinking is all about exploring and discovering, designing, prototyping, but the whole idea is it's meant to be rapid. You know, gone are the days of waterfall methodology now when it comes to SAP Business Technology Platform, and I don't think this is used enough. Which leads me on to kind of hybrid ways of working. Again, it's been very relevant for us. We opened the app house here, which is what you hopefully can see behind me. And we opened just as kind of lockdown hit. So we haven't really been able to, use the space for what it was intended for. But interestingly, the app house carried out some kind of studies recently. And basically what the study showed is the 5 drivers of innovation, which is people, process, place, leadership, as well as technology. Okay, so all these things together help drive innovation within your enterprise. It's not just a technology thing, it's a cultural thing. It's quite important. These slides will be shared. It's an interesting concept. And as part of that study, we got a number of different viewpoints within the App House network. I like the one in blue here, so it's just a different mindset. So obviously we will have out of office, but in the coming weeks and maybe years, maybe that will switch to in the office notifications, which is a little bit a different way of doing it. So this design in the new way of working, it ultimately comes down to 3 pillars. A hybrid team. So today I'm in the app house, Sam is in the app house. I think the rest of the guys are remote. It also means a hybrid collaboration. So again, looking at that design thinking and the process, we're in a hybrid world now where it might be that 2 people are in a location coupled with other people online. So it can be quite a difficult thing to manage. Again, we've got good guidelines on how to run hybrid workshops, but it's quite an important piece now. I think this is going to be with us for the long term. And of course, hybrid space as well. And that just doesn't mean office environment. That's kind of where you're working. You can work from anywhere at any time. And most organizations, especially us at Bluestonex, we've had to adapt to the new ways of working. First myth buster then that I just want to call out. So it's often, again, misunderstood a little bit. SAP Fiori is a technology. No, it's not. Okay, Fiori is a design principle or a set of guidelines that you would typically use. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. For some of you, you probably all know that and you'll refer to it as SAP Fiori. Often as not, it's not, because it won't follow those guidelines. It might be SAP UI5, okay, which is actually the technology most of the time that is being used. Sarah, I'm not sure, but if you have polls there, I think we just wanted to collect a little bit of information and just try and find out what the audience are using. Right, just to try and get a gauge. If we could run that poll while I go through the next stage, that would be great. Thank you. So let me move that over there while people are voting, and we will carry on. Okay, myth buster number 2. This is quite a nice one actually, because people again get a little bit disappointed, should we say. So Fiori UX will replace most, if not all, GUI screens when I move to S/4HANA. Okay. In my experience and from what I see and hear out there, when people do greenfield or a re-implementation of S4, yes, they're going to get a lot of the Fiori user experience. Often as not, when there is a conversion or a technical migration, you're still faced with certain challenges around SAP Fiori. So I just wanted to try and put that out there because it's an important thing. Yeah, GUI is still there, albeit it's in different formats. I'm just going to close this poll, but that is interesting. We'll share these at the end if people do not see what I'm seeing. Okay, and the third one, before we just jump into what does the new digital experience kind of look like. So just because it's Fiori, it doesn't mean it's right for the end user. And I'll give you a couple of examples here. Just thinking out loud of what we've done recently. So we've been involved in a number of user experience transformations. One of them recently was a warehouse implementation. We went through with certain stakeholders, and this is quite an important point. We went through with certain stakeholders, the design, and you do the prototypes. And what you should do, is called user experience for a reason, involve the users, yeah? Because when we put the Fiori designs in front of users, it was completely rejected flat out. Mainly because when you follow certain guidelines, and they are guidelines, those particular users, because of the environment that they were working in, just couldn't really adapt to what was being put in front of them. So we completely broke all the rules. So the point being, just because it's Fiori doesn't mean you have to do it. You don't. It's all dependent on, you know, the user's needs, and it comes back down to human-centered design. Another example that I can give is we've shown Fiori apps and Fiori launchpads to customers as well, and they've completely rejected it. It just didn't fit in with what their enterprise user experience strategy was. So as I said, just because it's Fiori doesn't mean it's right for the user, or sometimes right for the enterprise. So go back in time a little bit. Apologies if I've got maybe some of the dates wrong. I was scrambling around and trying to look at and remember where things were. I probably got engaged with SAP around this time here, around 1998. And funny enough, I was actually playing around with a product called GUI XT back then, which was a product I think made by Synactive. But what it enabled me to do was that it enabled me to take my SAP GUI and hide a lot of the noise on the screen, and maybe do a little bit of branding and theming of the transaction. So that was back then, kind of 1998, 1999. Obviously, SAP made quite big advances when we moved into 4.6 and 4.7 versions. And then this is the rest of the kind of the timeline, really. So ITS Mobile was quite an interesting one. That was the first time we could really connect SAP systems to devices. Obviously, SAP Portal, that's still quite widely used today. And then more recently, SAP Screen Personas was released, I think version 1 in 2012. And then SAP Fiori came along. It seems quite a long time ago now, actually, 2013. So that's just the kind of history behind it. But what's next? Okay, so we all talk about Fiori Launchpad, and what I've tried to do is simplify what Fiori Launchpad is. So typically, homepage, pretty much targeting SAP applications. How we position it for customers. So we take a lot of customers to SAP Business Technology Platform using Fiori Launchpad services, and it is very much a unified entry point for users, able to connect to SAP systems. We do it slightly differently, so we can also do non-SAP systems there as well. But essentially, tiles on there that can be personalized. Everybody knows or should know what Fiori Launchpad kind of looks like. We can show you some of this in a second, but I think it can be done a little bit better. So what does the new digital experience look like? I think the concepts with Fiori Launchpad are spot on. But when I take into account the younger generation, I would say maybe Generation Y or even Generation Z or Z, some of these people are still kind of alien to the Fiori experience. So what we're actually looking for in that digital experience is consistency, yeah, which Fiori can give us, but typically it's for SAP systems. But it's about context. And for me as a user, obviously Fiori's role-based, but is it personalized enough? Yeah, we know it's role-based, but is it actually personalized enough for me as a user? Yeah. The other thing that we thought around Fiori Launchpad and where it's missing is maybe the collaboration aspect of it, you know, sharing. And also the fact that it's still quite a technical bit of kit. It's got better, and we'll talk about rapid tools as well, how you can develop stuff, but it's still quite technical. Okay, so what is it? What is it? What's the next piece? So for those of you that don't know, this is it. So this is a slide that we took from SAP around what this new digital enterprise experience looks like. So at this point, I'm going to let Vic, who's been researching this product and building with this product, is just going to explain a little bit about the benefits, key capabilities. I'll share a couple a bit more detailed information, and then we're just going to show you what this looks like, because it's nice. So Vic.
Thanks, Dan. Can you hear me?
Can hear you, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. This is SAP WorkZone, which SAP says it's a digital workplace solution. Now, if you go directly into the slides, the key capability, the first one says it's a central access of application. You must be wondering, Launchpad gives me everything. It's a central access for applications. Then why a new solution? Probably you'll get the answer of that when I demo you the capability of this product. But for now, let's just see what are the benefits and key capabilities of that. So apart from central access to applications, you have some personalized information like a dedicated notification area, maybe better communication, which gives you better collaboration capability. And the integration capabilities are huge, and I'm sure SAP will add external solutions to it in the coming future as well. In terms of integration capabilities, I would say it gives you SAP apps. You can integrate it with non-SAP apps and external solutions like Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive. And the best part is it's extensible for development, customization, and branding, which is the last point on the slide.
Yeah.
Now,
and Vic, can I just ask Vic as well? Like from what we found as well, this is all browser based at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, this is browser based, and the best part again is low code because it's extensible. So you do not need to code for complete page. Rather, there are widgets which you can configure and you can show the applications and the integrations.
Yeah. Okay. So, cool.
Yeah. Now, this comes in two different flavors. The first one is just the base core functionality, which gives you all these functionalities, which I have just explained. Apart from this, there is a version which is specific to human resources. SAP calls it SAP WorkZone for HR. And it has some pre-delivered contents, like there are a few pages which are made like HR zone or manager zone. You have some learning capabilities also. All the work flows are related to HRs. They're all pre-configured. You have SuccessFactors integration into it. So if you are using SuccessFactors now and you want to have a feel of how the work zone looks like for HR, that could be your starting point. Or if you're not using it, you can just go for the plain vanilla version.
Yeah, so just to confirm then, Vic, for everybody out there, so WorkZone for HR, it's not a different product, it just comes with more pre-built kind of templates linked to HCM and SuccessFactors, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, Vic, walk us through what this product does, and then we'll jump into the demo.
Okay, so these are a few of the components which we thought are very important while introducing this product. The first one is My Workspace. I'll show you in the demo, but for now, it's basically your area and you're the designer of this page. That's one of the good things, that nobody else is going to configure this for you. it's you who will be configuring it. The next one is the old Launchpad, the traditional one, which you'll see this is fully integrated into this. Can I have the next one, please, Stan? Yeah. There's a concept called workspaces, wherein you can collaborate with your colleagues on different topics. I'll again show you in the demo.
Yeah, this is an interesting one actually, Vic, isn't it? Around the integration for conversational AI. So a slightly different user experience with this one, but it comes out the box with this service, which is nice. So we might talk a little bit about chatbots and conversational AI in a little while.
Yeah. Then you have your business applications like your tiles, which you have been using on the Launchpad. You can integrate it on homepage as well. You have knowledge base, which is an added functionality in this. You were missing probably this particular functionality in the Launchpad traditional one. The most important thing is my inbox, which is basically a task center, one place for all your tasks, which needs your attention. And apart from that, we have many other functionalities. So things like UI integration cards. It basically gives you an opportunity to build small applications with powerful applications and quickly integrate it on the Launchpad. I'll give you a demo for this one as well. We have a mobile version of this WorkZone application. So this is what you're seeing on your desktop, but we have a mobile version as well. We'll try to show you that as well. I'll show you on my mobile. Over to you, Dan.
Thanks, Vic. So that's just a brief. We're going to drop into it, okay? But again, this is what I see, what I feel right now. There are some great tools out there. A lot of enterprises that don't really know where to start, especially with a product like WorkZone. Comes down to, again, what is your user experience strategy as an enterprise? Okay, we typically have, again, a method. We'll follow design thinking to reach that UX strategy. But ultimately, the easy way to do it is obviously knowing your enterprise architecture, and that is a 2B to a an as is to a 2B. But also it's got the softer elements in it, which a lot of customers, I think, sometimes miss. So it's about, it's about the user as well. So it's about observation. It's actually measuring some of the systems, some of the clicks, some of the screen hops that they're doing, some of the applications that they're using, dropping in and out of. So the measurement of it, getting some insights, so running some questionnaires. Like we use Qualtrics for some of this to gather the insights from stakeholders and end users. And then you're into prototype and build. The beauty of WorkZone, you can do pretty much what Vic's shown you, albeit custom with Fiori Launchpad and SAP Portal. You can do all that stuff, but there'd be a lot of customization, a lot of work going in under the bonnet. WorkZone, the beauty of it is low code, right? And Vic will show you what we mean by that. So just to set the scene then on what Vic is gonna show you, we got access to WorkZone last week. Okay, and I'm not exaggerating. We followed a process. We had the solutions like, right, okay, so what are we going to build? So we went through that last slide. We went through that process. We run some questionnaires, sat down, spoke to people on what we needed to do. What came out of it was some requirements, and we did some prototyping. So what you're seeing here is what our goal was around WorkZone. Okay, so this new digital experience, what does it mean for Bluestonex and as a manager? Well, for us, we want to manage the customers. We want to make sure that what we're billing out is correct from our timesheets. We've got calendars and meetings, project management, all that sort of stuff, but also chats, and support tickets, things that I need to react to is all in the one place. Okay, that's the important bit. So we basically created a persona, and we did a photoshopped high fidelity version of it, because this is our aspirational goal. Same for the employees as well. So what were these guys actually needing at Bluestonex? So it's slightly different again, but it was mainly system access. support tickets, chats, timesheets. Those were their kind of main things based on the measurements that we took. So that's just to give you an idea. We had access to WorkZone last week. I think Vikash, you've probably spent a couple of days, elapsed time playing around with functionality. So we're going to show you a basic demo of what it is. Then Vic is going to show you what we built in a couple of days. And we'll also give you some critique or some feedback on what we found from the product. And then we're going to launch into some other cloud technology. So Vic, I'm going to stop sharing and hand over to you.
Do you see my screen?
Yes.
So today, the first part of this demo is basically SAP's demo box. So you're seeing this WorkZone instance on SAP's demo box. Just to introduce you to the components of it, this is the home page which your company administrator will set it for all the users. Now, this is different than the Launchpad which you have been working on. Say the first one, which says here, it's completely on you now. So all the design thinking workshops will dictate what needs to be here, but I'm just showing you demo which was built by SAP. This is the first widget which will tell you what all tasks need your attention. Things like my profile, timesheets, career development, and there are tons of applications which gives you an overview of what you need to work on today. That is called the homepage. Apart from that, you can have department-specific pages here. So for example, this is the HR page, and HR-related stuff like news and all those things, policies can be here. This thing, the second component, is my workspace. And like I said, I'm the designer of this. So basically SAP designed it, but the end user can just choose what who he or she needs from this page. You can even add different widgets. I'll show you in our demo box. The third one, again, it's the Launchpad, which we have been using for long. Then this is the collaboration capability, which I was talking about. So for example, these are the workspaces. Now, this is for employee onboarding group. So there could be people who are taking care of employee onboarding and all their tasks, the teams, what are the guides, what are the latest discussions, tasks, everything is here. You can even have HR contacts. I mean, literally, you can integrate anything into this. You have discussions, forums, questions, external documents, everything. So that's the first part of our demo. Second part is what we have done for our company. And literally, this has been done in 2 days, as Dan was mentioning. This is my homepage. Company administrator has set it up. I'll quickly run through some of these. So this is my profile. These are a few applications which we use currently for our practice. And as you can see, it's a full-fledged application which opens up. I know how many support tickets I have, which is assigned to me. I can chat with my colleagues. So let's say if I want to chat with Dan, I'll just click on it and it'll open up my Teams. We have also integrated Qualtrics here. So you can have running surveys, you can push it to employees and they can respond it from here. Latest news, don't want to be political, but yeah, you can access it from here. You have notifications, survey, summary here, and this is completely configurable. Again, your needs depend on, and that gets surfaced when we do the design thinking workshops. Now this is my page. I want to access all my systems from here because I have to work on certain technical things. I have my documents over here. And again, the support tickets, which are important. Now I can change this page layout. And for that, just telling you, like, any of the employees can design this in a different way. There is no control of administrators on this page. You can design yourself. again, these are applications. We also did workspaces. So this is project management workspace. As Dan was saying, he needs to manage projects, customers, resources. All these are our applications. We have also integrated SAP Analytics Cloud. I'll show you quickly here. And all these reports are basically live. So I'll not show you much more on this. These are the contents where I can just drop all my documents related to project management here. We can create tasks and assign it to users from this. This is inbuilt. We have not done anything for tasks. Knowledge base, you can add your blogs, wikis based on templates here. One last thing, the integration capability. Sorry, Dan, I'm taking too much time.
No, it's fine. I think it's important people see this.
Okay, so this is the administration console. This is where I'm going to show you one of the integrations. So there was latest news which was coming in. I'll show you that there is a concept and a new control called UI flexible cards. And it is basically declarative. So this is just one file which I have coded. Nothing else, no views, no controllers for developers. It's just declarative. You declare your service, you declare the bindings, and your card is ready. Once this is here, you deploy it, just right click and deploy on the WorkZone instance. And when you come into, where's that? Yeah, here, cards. You just have to either enable it or disable it. Once you enable it, this is available for users. Now, what they can do is they can go into their page, they can edit it, and they can add the widget. So I'm going to add the same news card here. Okay, I choose the different one. Sorry. All this happens with demo. So that's the news card, which I have just integrated it. If I want, I can put it in the middle of the page. If I want, I can just drag it here. It's completely configurable. I'll just keep it simple like before. That's it. That's it, Dan.
So Vic, what we're kind of saying, this product, for those that aren't familiar with it, the look and feel's different, and the key bit, it's low code. Yeah, that's the key bit. So it's kind of time and efficiency of kind of getting this up to scratch. We put a caveat or a word of warning around that. It can be done, but please follow and do your kind of due diligence around your different types of personas. What do users actually need? Yeah, but once you understand that, once you've built your kind of personas and understand your user experience strategy, this is great. This is really cool stuff. Okay, Vic, I am going to come back to the slide deck. Just Vic, quickly, just let's talk about the solution diagram. So hopefully people are seeing my screen, right? Just a couple of things on here. So in terms of the service, WorkZone coming with its own launchpad and things like that.
Yeah. So, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Mobile services and workflow management is a prereq. So yeah, they need to be there to for the workspaces and collaboration capabilities to work. Then you have conversational AI, which is optional. You can have it or not based on your needs. Apart from that, you have all the different connectivities and things for third-party applications.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's all there as part of the BTP service. This is just a little bit of feedback. So we've had a couple of days getting our hands really dirty on this stuff. So again, Kyle, Vic, you're the guys that have kind of got your fingers in there. So give the folks on the call just a little bit of feedback in terms of our critique so far, what we found.
Yeah, so this will probably tie into, I think Richard Symes has got a question in the chat just asking about whether SAP are pushing, I think if I understand the question correctly, we're asking if the the sort of collaboration and the feed and the chat functionality that Vic just showed in WorkZone, is that SAP WorkZone specific, or are they based on Office 365? So I think from what we found at the moment, a lot of the collaboration is specific to WorkZone. So it's a separate set of collaboration from Office 365 tools. But as you can see in the slide deck, the integration to Outlook and Office 365 needs more work, because we believe, it should work with your existing collaboration software that are Office 365 based.
So, and technically, we believe it's kind of there. SAP have kind of confirmed that things are coming. It's just we haven't figured it out as quickly yet. So we're just giving some purely honest feedback on that point, because to me, the whole Outlook Office 365 was critical. But there's ways and means around it.
Yeah, other than that, I think what Vic was saying before, everything that's available is mostly available in the current portal, but the main thing that we found, well, me personally, from a design point of view, is the theming wasn't as flexible as we would have hoped. So you can see in our design there, we've got the more of an Office 365 portal look with the icons down the left, whereas the WorkZone was more top tab based. So it's nothing functionality wise important, but just in terms of design, it's a bit restricted at the moment, but we're hoping that, SAP.
Yeah, and I think one of the important bits as well around the kind of CSS stuff, I mean, you can do it, but I think at the moment there's limited support from SAP. I think that's the key bit, but yeah, that's what we found. And as I said, we only got hold of the tenant, the cloud tenant last week, and we've made some good progress. So I'm trying to take our Fiori Launchpad layout to this layout. So we're actually doing it for real, so we can kind of advise customers properly. But it all starts with user experience strategy. There are some transition paths up here, which we'll share with you, so where you're starting and what you can move to, we'll share this. To be honest with you, whether you're using Fiori in the cloud at the moment or Enterprise Portal or SAP GUI, all roads lead to WorkZone. So there is no kind of system prerequisites really anymore. Like, we're connecting our ECC6 system to this. So we talked about WorkZone. It has mobile capability, but I just wanted to share this with you. So another new product, and I probably can hear you kind of muttering under the breath, oh, that's quite confusing now. There is a new kind of product called Mobile Start, okay, which again is about native applications, and it is meant to give this consumer grade experience. So they call them micro experiences. So you can see if I, on my Apple Watch, I could be getting notifications. And all these widgets and everything, it's all built into the kind of native capability of your devices. I'm not really intending to show you much, but if you can see my screen here, people are probably thinking, is this gonna replace my Fiori clients? If I was sticking my neck on the line, a lot of people are either going web browser or custom Fiori client right now, because Fiori client is coming to an end of support. I think it's next year. Vic, Kyle, is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, we believe what this product is going to do is going to kind of merge with what we're seeing already in WorkZone. So again, we can go into a bit of detail for people that want to see this in the future. Just reach out to us. We'll show you this stuff. It's quite exciting. But again, from a strategy point of view, Mobile Start and WorkZone, it needs to come together, be a little bit more seamless. Okay, I'll run a second poll quickly, Sarah, if you wouldn't mind. I can't remember what it's about, but let's do that. And I'll move on my slides. Okay, so let's just go back to the basics then. I want to show you some stuff. I'm running out of time, so I've got to move quick. So Kyle, tell the lovely people out there in a second the basics, but I just wanted to put this up there as well. So innovation requires latest ERP version like S4. No, absolutely not. What I've shown you and what Vic showed you so far, we're plugging into an ECC, I think Enhancement Pack 7. Sab, you might be able to tell me that's right. I think it's Enhancement Pack 7. But the point is, you don't need to be on the latest and greatest. There might be some hurdles along the way, but the point is you can do a lot with your existing suite. Kyle, just very quickly touch across Business Technology Platform, the basics, if you don't mind. So we'll come on to the two aspects to it, but for me, we've always said it, it's the agile layer. It enables you to innovate and keep your core clean. That's it in a nutshell for me. We play in a lot of areas, yeah, mainly this kind of area around extendability, but we do a lot of work around integration and intelligent technology. I want to dive into this and show you some of this stuff, so I'm going to move quite quickly through. And obviously for customers, we have a service offering called Partner Managed Cloud. So it's basically, we hold your hand, we take you to SAP BTP, and we manage that for you from development through to support, through to innovation. We're part of your DNA. Mr. Barnfield, just explain for the folks there that don't know or not familiar with cloud, the two elements.
Yep. So when you go to spin up a business technology platform account, you've got two options of different environments. One is known as Neo, the other is Cloud Foundry. Neo is the original older version of the two environments, and it's a proprietary of SAP, which means it only supports SAP data centers and sort of languages only tailored to SAP. So it only supports a handful of programming languages. Cloud Foundry, the newer, more bleeding edge version, it's an open source environment, as it says on the slide, and it supports multiple data centers, not just SAP's. So this opens you up to capabilities from AWS, Azure, Google Public Cloud, and it also supports a larger list of programs, and then it also opens up a lot more capabilities and services that are delivered from these extra data centers. So like in a nutshell, Neo is your sort of SAP specific one with SAP services, and Cloud Foundry is your new open source one where you can do everything that was done on Neo with SAP, but you can also use external services from other data centers such as AWS, Azure.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say, Kyle, when we started our cloud journey internally and offering services to customers, it was Neo. That was what was available. Yeah. Now, for new customers, we're moving on to Cloud Foundry, and we have moved quite a lot of customers from Neo to Cloud Foundry, just so that they're future-proofed.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are some basic bits there. Just one last myth buster before we get onto chatbots and stuff like that. SAP UI5 development is very slow. Okay, it can be, but now there is a whole bunch of kind of cool stuff where you can develop apps quite quickly. Again, because I'm not a developer, I just want to make sure that I'm getting my point across. You can have the technology and the capability, but you have to still understand what it is that you're trying to achieve. Yeah, so the whole design thinking is still very relevant. We use these tools, yeah, believe it or not, Lego Serious Play. For those of you at the conference at the end of November, I'm doing something on the Sunday workshop for that, so have a look at that stuff. But it all comes down to, you know, understanding the problem, framing the problem, empathizing, prototyping, building. We still like, I know SAP Build is still there, but it's going, but Build's a lovely product. Slipstream, which is part of Screen Personas, means you can kind of prototype on a live kind of transaction, or, you know, in your dev or your quality box. But our team, typically, this is what we're using. AppGyver is the new kid really on the block. I know it's been around a while, but I think SAP have kind of consumed this now, and it's there as part of the stack. This one is really interesting as well. SAP Mobile Transaction Bridge. So just to explain what this is, SAP Screen Personas, you used to be able to do like a screen recording. With SAP Mobile Transaction Bridge, it's kind of similar. You do a screen recording, but what this does, it builds OData services required for a kind of UI5 app. So it's really nice. The majority of our guys are pretty much using WebIDE or Business Application Studio and some of Xcode. So we're building native applications these days. Eclipse kind of died out a long time ago, but it's back. It's back certainly when we talk about ABAP in the cloud platform or the business technology platform. So it's come on a long way in terms of development. I just want to quickly touch on this. HANA Cloud, okay, best kept secret, we think. Vic, I'll ask you to jump in a second, but conscious of time, why this solution is brilliant is you can start stripping out peripheral databases, Excel spreadsheets, whatever it is that you have in your IT landscape, move it into HANA Cloud, and then again, you can very easily start putting things on that WorkZone or Fiori Launchpad. Yeah, so we think this is great. There are other databases available in BTP. HANA Cloud is good. And the reason why I say that, we run our entire business on HANA Cloud. Yeah, we were using SharePoint, Excel, email. I won't say pen and paper, I won't go that far, but we moved everything into HANA Cloud with a set of UI5 applications. And we've also developed other products like visitor and staff management here. So different choices for different databases. As I said, we typically use HANA Cloud just because it's best in class. Yeah, and built applications like that. So when you get into that design thinking, and this is brilliant for when there's a gap in SAP technology, or if it's an industry specific problem, you can build stuff using this database technology. That's the cool thing about it. And what we have done, we have built on top of products that we'd already got, things like Business Partner Portal. So we're able to have exchange of information and collaboration with suppliers and customers for our clients using HANA Cloud and a UI5 application. We'll touch on this if I've got time. I'm real conscious here. So just to explain what that is, just bear with me. I'll have to quickly log into my dev again. It's an ECC, but just to explain, Fiori Launchpad, which is what we've been kind of talking about before. Hopefully, if I log into my business partner portal, this is all living on HANA Cloud. So I'm going to log in, if I can remember, a bit of pressure. But this is what we're talking about, business partner portal. So what we're using, we've got details here which are integrating into SAP. Yeah, but more importantly, I can do other clever stuff, which we're going to talk about in a sec, around machine learning and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we'll come back to that. But essentially, I've got a database where I can start loading things in, and then I can start consuming some of this data, maybe in a follow-on process. You know, whether it's approval of new materials that I need, or you can kind of see the value of it. Whereas previously, you know, people might be using Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that, and then keying it into SAP. Architecture's dead straightforward. Yeah, HANA Cloud. In this example, we're using a service which I'll probably show you in a second, document information extraction, which will basically take a PDF and it will work out the content of that PDF. So a classic example would be invoices, or maybe a sales order PDF. I can extract the data, understand the data, do something with it. Yeah, that's the key bit. So we're actually using this particular platform with our Maestro solution, which is a data governance solution, but we plugged it into MDG as well for those that have MDG. Right, Vic, quickly, machine learning.
Yep.
Talk to people.
Interesting topic because people use AI, ML, and DL interchangeably, which is wrong. So AI is basically the field of field of study, wherein you make machines smarter. ML is just a subset of it, where you just feed in data and the machine learns over the time and just becomes more and more smarter. While DL, deep learning, is basically on image recognition, speech to text. It needs some kind of computational power. I'm just going to run through this because there's no time. But this is just one of the use cases which Dan was showing. Dan, can you just click one? Yeah. So these are some of the use cases. We'll show you the first one. Basically, you upload a PDF, and based on OCR technologies and image recognition, it basically maps all your data into different fields which are in your ECC system. So this is basically, yeah, this is where we have uploaded the invoice, and it shows you the POs and everything which are mapped.
So again, what's great about this service, it works out the box, okay? But what I just wanted to show, I think we've shown it before. You can see here, it's read, it's extracted the data and worked it out, but there's an obvious one missing, right? because this is a brand new invoice. The beauty of this is we can edit and we can tell it what it is, so that next time it knows. Yeah, so this is document information extraction. It's part of the AI family delivered by SAP. It's really good because we didn't have to do anything apart from teach it. Yeah. Right, very quickly, conversational AI. So obviously user experience is important. This is a different type, chatbot. So what I have, or what I challenged the team to do here, is I wanted to leave it up until the last minute because I wanted to put a bit of pressure and to make it real. So the challenge was, one of our guys, Bala, I wanted him to create me a chatbot, and I wanted him for password resets. Okay, so the whole idea with the chatbots, these slides we're gonna send on to you anyway, but it's meant to be kind of a more human-like conversation, and it's gonna do stuff. Don't be too confused by the IRPA. We'll get to that in a second. The capability in Business Technology Platform is brilliant. Okay, so again, the keyword low code. Again, we'll share the slides. Okay, the demo, this is it. Hopefully you guys are going to see this, but I recorded it earlier, so you can see my blue bot, my chat bot down there. Just, I think it's about a minute long. So this is me earlier logging in, asking for a password reset. So because I recorded it, I know it's going to work because I thought I might be under a bit of time pressure. So you can build in the logic. So when we talk about training the bot, that's what you do. And the great thing is, it's almost like, I wouldn't say it's kind of Visio, but it's very much kind of process flow with logic. So it's nice. And I can tell you that it works, because the challenge was this day, get me an example where you can reset my password using information and security information related to me. And the bot will come back and give you the message that it's reset. And then I can log back into SAP just to prove it, which works quite nicely. So again, don't use this as a typical use case. I wanted just to show you something that was positioned to the team, and they're able to turn around the capability using the low code platform, the services there in the cloud. Okay, IRPA then, just very quickly, because I've got about a minute left. So I'll rattle through this. For me, sometimes it's quite difficult to explain things. So you've got to get good use cases. So it's about automating typical mundane tasks. Yeah, so it says here, automate tedious tasks, and focusing on the value, freeing up time. Yeah, so there are two types. They're priced differently. Again, for people interested in this stuff, we can show you some more around IRPA. Unattended and attended, they're priced differently in terms of the services available from SAP. Benefits to you guys, it should be obvious. But again, what I did, I wanted to set the guys up and say, right, give me an IRPA process, but this time I just want to send an email to the help desk. Can the help desk or the bot pick up that email, interpret it, and do what I've asked it to do? So some examples are here. Data management, I personally think, unless you've got a gatekeeper for data, it's a bad one because you're not putting any quality. But we use IRPA now with our Maestro solution for sending a request via email and Outlook to Maestro to say, I've got a product launch or a new customer launch. It's got 50 products. Maestro and IRPA will work together to process that information, put in quality and governance around the data. So very quickly to show you the demo. Okay, this is me sending some information. Can you reset my password? I've sent it off to the bot. We're showing you in the foreground here, but typically once that email from Outlook goes, it will get picked up by the bot. Bot will read it, interpret, and process the information. What we've done here, I've recorded what the actual bot is doing. So this is a kind of foreground process, but typically you'd schedule a package to work here. So you can see here, again, low code, it's really nice. And what I tried to do is challenge the team to turn it around quickly, because it's all about speed and agility and adding some value. So hopefully this process will run through. And again, it's showing you in the foreground. The key bit to this is once I sent that email off to the help desk saying, please reset my password, this is what the bot actually did in this case. But the nice thing about it is I get an updated email back from the bot to say, hey, Dan, we've reset your password. Here it is, which is nice, which is what you're seeing now. Okay, so it's probably not that good a use case, but if people want to see some of this stuff, we can show you this. Poll 3, Sarah, if we could just run that, please, and then I think we better rattle through these questions. Thank you. So, folks, I've really rushed through there because we spent a bit of time talking about user experience, okay? Anybody that's interested in exploring some of the business technology services, get in touch, okay? If you need a deep dive of the demo, again, just get in touch because I've literally skimmed it. And we've only shown you 3 or 4 services available in Business Technology Platform. It's huge, the potential, and I still say this is the best thing SAP have done in a long, long time in terms of the technology stack. Right, I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to go to the chat window. People have been answering here. Is there anything in here, Kyle or Vic, that's unanswered? Or Sarah, have we got anything else that I can't see here?
There has been a few questions. Do you want me to read some out?
Go for it.
Is WorkZone available today or released on what date?
It's out there, yeah.
It's out there, okay. Another one, we're using Neo Cloud. What are the steps to move to Cloud Foundry?
Ooh, good question, because we've done this a few times. Vic, do you want to just very succinctly tell the steps, please?
Yep. First thing, you need to have your account ready for Cloud Foundry. So maybe if you're on BTP, just add some entitlements like runtime, bandwidth, and things like that. And then you'll have to change all your new applications into Cloud Foundry, which initially you might find it difficult because you're moving out of your comfort zone, but it's all there. Blogs are there to help you. If not,
yeah,
we are there to help you.
Thank you. Any others, Sarah? Sorry.
Right, okay. Another one, there are many UX technologies. Which one is best and where do you start?
Many what? Sorry, I missed the first bit. Many
UX technologies.
Oh yeah. Okay, so like the technology should be irrelevant. So I think the more important piece is like your UX strategy. The outcome should be pointing to the technology. So there are so many different options. It all very much depends on your use case, your industry, your user requirements. If you follow the design thinking methodology, maybe read some of the blogs that we put up there, it should take you to the right path, because I don't really think there is one rule fits all, but it looks very much like strategically, everything is going to be ending up into that WorkZone space.
Okay, have we got time for another one?
Of course.
Yep. Okay, what will happen to Fiori? Will it be completely be replaced by WorkZone?
No. How I am kind of interpreting things, Fiori is going to be there. The technology is going to be there. Remember, Fiori is that design guideline. WorkZone is kind of that layer, which is bringing collaboration, integration, universal inbox, sharing knowledge, all that stuff on the one place. So Fiori will still be there, you know, if it's right for your enterprise. Certainly when it comes to SAP applications, yeah, it's always going to be there.
No problem. And the last one, what about Fiori client? What are SAP doing about that?
Okay, Kyle, Vic, from my understanding, there's a note out there telling people what they advise, custom client or web browser. We have developed our own custom client that our customers use. Keep an eye out for mobile start and the WorkZone mobile option as well. But Vic, Kyle, any comments to add on that?
Nope, you have explained it well.
Okay, there was one there. Oh no, that's what was, I thought there was another one there from Rob, but I think Kyle, have you answered that? Yeah, so there are a lot of challenges. A lot of you have multi-vendors, we get that. What I'd like to say is, as a technology out there is endless. It's how you get there is important bit. So the kind of the UX strategy and the design thinking bit, I still think is key. And certainly that's where we position ourselves. We can do the technology bit like everybody can, and we love doing that. But I think the important bit is getting it right from the outset. Great.
Okay.
That's it, folks. Thank you very much for your time. Anybody needs to get in contact, please contact inquiries. Important one, for those of you that haven't registered, £100 off the fees using this code. Hopefully we'll see you there. If you are at the conference, come and see us. We'll be showcasing this sort of stuff for the 2 days. And if you're there on a Sunday, come and have a play with Lego.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for the rest of the team. It was a really good session today.
Thank you.
Okay, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.